What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And today, I'm going to take a different approach with this video. Lots been said already about it. This is Samantha Lee. She was married to Tyrese, the R&B singer, famous actor, and a lot of people been ridiculing her, persecuting her, throwing spears at her. I'm gonna take a different approach with this. I want to use this video as a teachable moment. I think a lot of times, and like, I'm the type of person that I try to learn from other people's actions if I can. I try to learn from other people's failures and I try to learn from other people's successes. And I haven't always been successful in doing that. Some things I went out there and I had to learn on my own. But for the most part, that's how I try to learn. I rather learn through watching, through observation, so I can hopefully avoid the pitfalls that a lot of people were unfortunate to avoid. So I want to use this video in the same way. I want to use it as a teachable moment, so those that are watching and listening will be able to learn from it and gain something from it versus just doing a bunch of spear chucking and ridiculing. Now, before these two got married, they actually signed a pre. She actually signed a prenuptial agreement, by the way. So before they even tied the knot, there was an understanding that if the relationship ended, there was a expectation or a pre-known resolution of how it would go. Tyrese has been very public about their divorce. Um, I believe that her lawyers was trying to contest the prenuptial agreement. So that right there is another lesson to be learned, that the woman you married is not the woman you'll be divorcing, guys. So her mindset and the way she was before the marriage when she signed that contract, she was not in the same mindset and emotional state of being when they divorced. Because before she married, she felt one way, and now that they're divorcing, she felt a different way. So never think that when you divorce a woman that it's going to be a very easy process or it's going to be amicable, because women change. They become bitter, um, they become angry, and a lot of them become downright, for lack of a better word, downright evil, and they become a completely different person than who you met at the beginning of that relationship. And I think Tyrese found that out the hard way from his own words. He said, you know, when she married me, she said she happily signed their prenuptial agreement. She said, you earned that on your own. It's not mine. You know, you deserve that. I have no right to it. Blah blah blah. But then when the divorce came and they were going with the back and forth, you can see that that wasn't the case. So obviously, when the divorce came time to separate, she changed her mind on how she felt before they went into the marriage. But I want this to be a teachable moment to everyone out there that's listening and that's watching this. So let's play the video and then we'll come back and I'll give my thoughts on it.
I would never tell, I work with women. I would never tell a woman to walk through that in the same frame of mind I was in when I did it.
And when you say that, but what frame of mind was that? What do you mean by that in particular?
I was very, very hurt. I was very angry. And I remember like when I made like the decision, I was like hysterically crying on the phone with my attorney. That was not the person I should have been on the phone with when, like, that's a whole nother conversation. But anyway, I was hysterically crying. And I was not in any position to make that decision. I was extremely emotionally intoxicated. Mm. We can be intoxicated with our emotion. The truth about the matter is that if I had different people in my ear at that time, I would not have made that decision. No. Wow. I wouldn't. And that's the truth. I tried my very best at this point in my life to be what I didn't have in that moment. because I think that and women were like, I'm an extremely emotional person. People that know me know that about me. I'm the kind of person that, like, okay, I feel so strong, and I can ruminate. I can get so lost in my thoughts. I know a lot of women are like that. Like, we're a lot, not all of us, right? But some of us are. Just like a lot of men can be like that. But I know women specifically, there will be moments where they'll be like, I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to be done. I can't stand this. He don't do this. He don't do that. Blah blah.
So, guys, listen to what she said. She said, had she had someone else in her corner, other people in her corner, other people in her ear, if she didn't have those people in her corner, in her ear that she had, she would not have made the decision to get divorced. That means she had no woman, not a one, in her corner telling her to save her marriage. And she has kids. She couldn't find one woman that was in her ear telling her to save her marriage and to save her family. Not one. Who you have in your corner and who you have in your social circle and in your life is extremely important. They have such influence over the decisions that you make, especially if you're a woman, because women do not, in general, have the ability to go against their social surroundings. They don't have the ability to go against their social circle. When things hit the fan, that's who women turn to. And whatever the social circle, her circle says, that's what she does. Women are not like men. They are not as independent as they would have you think. That's why if you want to date a woman, if you want to get into a relationship with a woman, you have to pass the test of her social circle. And she knows the type of man that's acceptable for her to bring around. And she knows the type of men that is not acceptable for her to bring around. And it's not until you pass the test of her social circle will she even be open to being in a relationship with you. So all the men that women chase for relationships are the men that pass the standards and the approval of the social circle. So she had an issue in her marriage that she was going through, and she turned to her social circle for advice. And not one person in that group told her to save her marriage and to save her family. That let me know that most likely the women in her group were not married themselves, did not have a family themselves. They might have been some baby mamas, but they were not married women. Married women, women that are successfully and happily married, try to keep their other friends who are successfully and happily married. She couldn't find one woman in her social circle, in her ear, telling her to stay married. Not even her mama. Assuming her mother is alive. If her mother is alive, not even her mom was telling her to stay in that marriage and stay married. Not even her mom was telling her not to destroy her family. This is why a lot of women have next to no hope having a successful marriage with the same social circle they went into that marriage with. When you move to certain areas and stages in your life, you have to just get rid of and drop certain people in your life. Life is about choices, and a lot of choices are hard to make. But if you are a successfully and happy married woman, I would not advise you to hang around a social circle of women who are not successful and who are not married. She couldn't find one. She couldn't find one woman in her social circle telling her to stay married. Be very careful when you use that term friend. Be very careful when you say somebody's your friend. That term gets thrown around so loosely now. that this person's my friend, that person's my friend? Are you really sure that that person's your friend? We need to redefine. You need to, especially if you're a woman, you need to redefine that definition of what a friend is. And then you need to go through your contact list, because friends want to see the best for the people that they love and care about. A friend will want to see you succeed. A friend will want to see you successful, because you being successful and you having joy is a lot more important than you being happy. And if you don't know the difference between joy and happiness, therein lies the problem. Right there. Because they are very different. And as a friend, I want to see my friend be successful. I want to see my friend with joy. Because joy is sustaining and long lasting. Happiness is fleeting. Happiness comes and goes. Happiness can be here at 12 o'clock noon and gone at 5 p.m. She couldn't find one woman, not one in her ear, telling her to stay married. She admits out of her own mouth that she was emotionally intoxicated, meaning she was emotionally unstable. She was an emotional wreck, and there was no one there, not one person, to stabilize her emotions and to get her back under control. She was on a phone crying to her lawyer, who has a vested interest in her going through with the divorce. That's the last person you're going to find to stabilize your emotions. She didn't have one person in her social circle. And then she admits that she regrets it. That she regrets getting the divorce. She had Tyrese. This man was on the internet crying. This man was on the internet crying about his marriage, crying about his family. And not one person in her social circle even had an iota, ounce of empathy or sympathy for that situation. They was telling her to get a divorce. That lets you know how important your social circle is. How important it is to have a friend, a real friend, the true definition of what a friend is. This is a teachable moment. This is not a one-off. There are a lot of men in the same situation as Tyrese. There are a whole bunch of videos floating around of women who got divorced from their husbands and regret it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do a series on a bunch of women like that, who left their marriages, destroyed their families, separated children from their fathers from being in the same home, and have regretted it. Because they was in the same situation as Samantha Lee. Didn't have anyone in their social circle, didn't have anyone in their ear telling them not to walk away from their marriage, not to break up their family. She said she didn't have anybody in her ear telling her different. Not even her mama. Not even her grandmama. No aunts, no cousins, no friends, no siblings. Sometimes when you get to a place in life, you even got to separate yourself from people who are in your family. Sometimes they're the ones you need to get away from, because they'll have you doing the most foolish stuff thinkable. So guys, I'll leave the link below. You can go back and watch this as many times as you want. I would advise that you do, especially if you're a man. Go back and watch this as many times as you want, and let this be a teachable moment for you. And if you're a woman, likewise, let this be a teachable moment. She said she was emotionally intoxicated. So when she made this decision to get divorced, she wasn't even emotionally stable. She wasn't emotionally or psychologically in the right frame of mind. She made this decision basically and purely off her emotional state at that time. And now that she came down, now that she's emotionally stable, now that she's psychologically sound, she regrets it. Let this be a teachable moment for you. That an irrational and highly emotional woman could make a decision like this and destroy a marriage and break up a family. And now she's online telling other women not to do it. I at least give her credit for that, for telling other women not to do it. There's a lot of women that did this that regret it, and they won't open their damn mouth. They won't say a thing. They won't admit that they made a mistake. You literally have to pull it out of them, but they won't generously offer up that they made the biggest mistake. And they certainly won't tell the ex-husband. They certainly won't tell him that they messed up. Because in all things, women got to be right. They're extremely prideful. One thing that we don't talk about a lot is the pride of women. We know that men are prideful. Everybody knows that. But we don't talk about the pride of women. Women hate to admit when they're wrong. And they'll live a lie for the rest of their life until they grow old and die before they admit that they was wrong about something. Before they admit that they was wrong about walking away from that man. Before they admit they was wrong about breaking up their family. They will rather live a lie and die in it before they tell you they was wrong. Before they tell you they was wrong for keeping you away from your father. Before they tell you they was wrong for telling you that you didn't have a father. They would rather live that lie and die than actually admit that what they did was wrong. That they was a bad wife. That they was a bad mom. That they was a bad parent. They would rather live a lie before they admit that. Let this be a teachable moment. Let it be teachable that the woman he married was not the woman he divorced. No matter how sweet she was at the beginning, when it comes time to end it because she wants to walk away, you're going to see a completely different individual. So when you meet a woman, know her social circle. Know who it is that has her ear. Because when she has issues with you, when there's issues in a relationship, issues in a marriage, that's who she's running to. And if they all single, if they don't have successful marriages, if they don't have a husband, if they don't have a family, you can end up like this. So go watch this video, apply it to your life, and let it be a teachable moment for you if you're a man. Let it be a teachable moment for you if you're a woman. So I think this is good stuff. When these things happen, I like to use them as teachable moments, guys. There's already a lot of people out there throwing enough spears and doing enough insults and ridicule. So I don't need to do that here. Let this be a teachable moment. All right, Lions, I'll talk to you soon.